Alright, and we are back for the second half. I wasn't even aware I was running out of time there. You can definitely lose track about it when you're talking about these things. If anybody's actually tried to wake anybody up themselves and talk about these things to somebody, you will lose track of time. You'll even get off track of what you originally started talking about to tell them something else, but that creates its own paradox because you can't give somebody who's just waking up way too much information, either put them off or scare the crap out of them or, something. In either case, it's not that good. Just a little bit at a time normally seems to do the trick a lot better. But even at that pace, some people, it might be a fear factor or for whatever reason, they just always constantly do not want to hear it. And I guess it feels better for them to live the dream. To just go with the flow. That's obviously what a lot of them want, which is why they're still what they're doing. Before we go any further, get back to what happened on the first part with that adopting Web 2.0 strategy. Now, I also want to say I'll be getting a lot more resources and things coming in for later on. But even if I do happen to pull out something like a bill or something, I will not try to read the entire bill to anybody. Try to keep it up and going. Don't want to, put anybody to sleep with the whole reading the entire bill or statute or anything like that, because I went over the income tax thing before, and you can and probably would fall asleep going over it. But back from that, we'll start over the article again as while the United States intelligence community may have gotten a lot of publicity for its Wikipedia-like Intellipedia website, agencies like the Central Intelligence Agency and the National Security Agency are ramping up their use of social and web-inspired software as well. Let's just go ahead and take that, i.e. Facebook, MySpace. Basically, that's what those things are. They are there to get information out of you, to track you, to watch you, and to be used against you anytime that they can be. I've even heard the stories, maybe somebody else out there has heard them before, that you have even been turned down for a job before, possibly from either a MySpace or a Facebook page. So that's just a little CIA bug out there that you self-inflict on yourself by signing up. Intellipedia has been a success with 830,000 pages. It's the crown jewel of the intelligence community, proves that the information sharing is better in the wake of the quote-unquote 9/11 attacks. But Michael Kennedy, director of the Enterprise Solutions for the intelligence community, said the government can't rest on its laurels. He admitted the criticism in the Intellipedia has matured, and while it remains a centerpiece, he said the government also needs to keep moving on to the next big thing, which the next big thing is Web 2.0. We already know the administration is going to try to shut down the whole freedom of information we have in alternative media from the internet, and Web 2 comes out. It's going to be just basically like your cable service. You pay for what channels you want. If you want the premium HBO channels, something that would actually be worthwhile, you're gonna pay more for that premium package. If you want to check your email and stuff like that, you're still gonna have to pay for it, and no doubt there's actually going to be taxes on it, and a carbon tax for using it somehow, whether it's tied to the electricity or from the service company that you get your internet from. Either way, it's going to be really high cost, and most people are just probably going to lag from it, go right back to mass media and watch their analog TVs and turn zombie drones who believe whatever they're told on TV from Obama or whoever it is, Lieberman, Beck, Hannity, whoever have you, I'm not gonna be too hard on Beck right now, because not that I believe his whole crying on screen thing, because anybody on TV has to be some form of an actor, but at least that type of an atmosphere and him doing those things, it is getting people to look where they should be looking or should have looked by now. Now, also, we got another article, same website, National Terrorist Alert. We have domestic terror threat growing, Senate committee warns. Now, this was also a Wednesday, 11th of March. You can check it right out there on the website for yourself. Follows basically along with what Alex was already talking about before, is how we're talking about domestic terrorism. And, that's just... It's just a way for them to pull a lot of these strings that they've already tied to very heavy constraints that are sitting on top of roofs waiting to hit an unsuspecting victim that's going to walk underneath them. Like a couple episodes ago on Alex, you already know they're talking about how Ron Paul is now labeled a terrorist, and pretty much most of us are, if we, alternative media or have a different political view than one of the two wings of the same chicken. And so they're pushing this out now, and if this is just an idea for them to have people go on here and look at and say, oh my, there's domestic terrorists, and you see it on Fox News or CNN about how white-collar America, middle class, is full of terrorism now and need to be shipped into FEMA camps to save you. They're dumb enough to go along with it. It sounds ridiculous when you actually say it out loud, but there are people who are listening to that and going, yeah, I'll go for it, that sounds good. Yeah, but nah, jeez. Okay, and we also got, the drug cartels are linked to terrorism, and a couple of people here, Steve Quayle and things like that, they've come up with a scenario that it is possible for the whole Mexican border drug cartel, now linked to terrorism on the National Terrorist Alert website, might kind of help them push on to a martial law with closing of the borders, needing troops to go and find these illegal immigrants and the drug cartel, and they're already displaced out there into local law enforcement to act as liaisons and help out in the community with the cutting people out of the car deal and all that. And it's ridiculous. I don't trust it. I can't trust that because I know better. I've done the reading, and I've actually seen some of that stuff firsthand. A lot of people have back during Christmas when the Toys for Tots is got G.I. Joe live action figures standing out there in full gear with weapons. And they may claim it's not loaded. Well, if it's not loaded, then why bring it out? If it's not an active weapon, why have it on a vehicle? Why carry a weapon? It's acclimating the people to actually getting used to seeing it. You stand around it long enough, you'll drop your guard, you'll be comfortable around it. Then when it comes knocking on your door to take you to a Happy Land Fun Time FEMA camp, then you're going to be all more for it. And also, Mexico offered U.S. help in battle with drug cartels. Now, that was Saturday, March 7th of 2009, off of the Terror Alert right there. So, we've already got some interstate helping. Mexico offered to help U.S., meaning those troops would come to U.S. to help, most likely, which is part of the NAFTA, the national, the whole free trade right there, pulling together the Northern American Union, which is obviously right around the corner, which hopefully we'll be able to try to put an end to that with so many states looking for sovereignty. Hopefully those states, those things will pass. Contact your own representatives. Get a letter out there. We know if it's their agenda, they'll try to pull it through whatever they can, but we do outnumber them, so in the final say-so, there's definitely a lot more of us, and we are way more pissed off than them sucking their thumbs, hoping everything goes okay. Now, this one, I had to do a little bit of running around to get to for this one.